do I even begin? I live in a poor town in Arkansas. I can't remember the name because I don't live there anymore. I live in New York. Every day, people would sell drugs back and forth back then. It gets irritating at first, but then you'll get used to it. I came across a VHS on the car hood. I picked it up, and when I touched it, it was pretty hot because it was left out in the sun. It didn't have its case or anything. It was just a tape. I picked up the VHS again, knowing it would hurt my hands from the heat. I took it home, set it on the table for it to cool down in the next 10 minutes. Came back and then put it in. It was a Thomas episode for some reason. I was thinking it'd be a Walking Dead episode since it was my favorite show to watch. The title card showed Haunted Henry in all red instead of yellow. I would know because I used to watch Thomas back then. I noticed something a little off. When Thomas reached the station, instead of rolling his eyes up, he rolled them down. I forgot to tell you, it was late at night at 11 o'clock p.m. at that time, so I had to watch out for my kids. My kids were usually asleep by 10, so I can't wake them up for a school night. The tape played on with Haunted Henry, and some changes were there for a little bit. Not that I'm bothered or anything. Edward told a different story about the owl, of how it can bring you bad luck. Next, this one kinda creeped me out. There was the amber lamp, then there was the gates closing, the signal turned red, there was a fireman's coat, but there was one of them I don't remember being one of them. A separate finger of a person that's bleeding. Henry sees a figure in the old station, and he bolted out of there. Instead of Thomas passing him that morning, it was Percy driving by, holding the mail. Henry was getting a little scared, but he knew he had to do his job. When he felt confident that night, Gordon shot past him. The truck started teasing him for being scared. That was until they witnessed all of them of what happened. Henry burst open the gate as the trucks pulled him down into the broken viaduct. At that point, this is where things get real berserk. The trucks plunged into the ravine and took Henry with them. Henry was screaming as he fell to his death. He slammed into the flatbed as his tender got loose and fell onto one of the trucks as Henry flew the other way and battered his body real bad. He had some cuts and bruises on his face from the impact, and Henry was crying from it. Henry was there to rot forever. He was still crying, but his tears went from water to blood. I felt guilty for Henry after he went through all that, and now he's there to rot there until he dies. A time card reads 3 days later, a new engine puffs into Wellsworth Station. The new engine was named Frederick. He was painted black, the same shape as Henry, and now he replaced Henry with the number 3. Then it hits me. After Henry's crash, no one knows what happened to him, so people assume that he went to the mainland and replaced them with another engine. Now I felt really bad for Henry. I took out the tape, go back to the same area, and place it there. I'm just gonna forget this ever happened. Plus, I'm just not gonna tell my kids this. I'm just gonna say I've been drinking coffee. I was hanging out with one of my friends the next day. It was starting to get late, and it was 6 o'clock in the afternoon. It was time for me to go get some dinner. I reached into my phone and heard a whisper. It said my wife's name. Then it said my kids' names. It said my sister's name as well. And finally, mine. I turned off my phone all the way off. Screw this. I ran back to get that tape and destroyed immediately. That tape is ruining my life, and I'm not gonna let it stalk me. The next day, my kids were going camping, and they were missing a chaperone, so I decided to sign up and come with them. When I was setting up the campfire, I keep hearing whispers in the forest. Am I hallucinating, or am I just going insane? The whispers sounded like someone saying, "Follow me," or something. I put down my stuff and followed the voice. I got to my destination. As I looked up, I saw a really old shed. It was graffitied everywhere. Some of the windows were broken too. It made a loud creaky noise when I opened it. I shouldn't have seen that coming. It was dark in here, like someone didn't even pay the power bill. I looked around and saw another tape on the floor. This one saying, "You made the biggest mistake of your life." I picked up the tape and placed it in the convenient VHS with the TV and started watching it. The TV went to static when I put it in. I waited for a while and it was still on static, and it was kind of getting boring, so I decided to look around the shed for more things. I took a step out of the room and heard someone say, "Leaving so soon?" My spine tickled as I got goosebumps. I walked into the room I was just in, and now the TV was not static anymore. The video began, and it was one of my kids I had. Except, it was the first kid I had before my twins. The same kid I let him go to that camp. The basement door opens, and I see a guy holding a weapon I couldn't see because of the darkness. Once I could see, it was a camp instructor. He looked very insane. He was holding a pocket knife that was fully sharp, ready to kill him. He stabs him in the stomach and slides down to open him up and pulls out the intro. Then he stuffed a tape that had cords leading to the TV. He heard sirens in the distance, so he hid in one of the places under the stairs. The police opens the door, only to find the massacre that would have happened. My eyes are full of tears as I witnessed my own son getting murdered by a camp instructor. I ran out of the shed and grabbed all my things, got into the car, and drove off. I'm done. I want to find out what happened to my son and what that tape has done. I knew how to fix tapes, so it was pretty much easy to fix. Put back in the tape and glued my eyeballs to the TV. Not literally. It was my same son that died in that one tape. He was all ghost form. He tried to breathe, but it was very raspy. I noticed a big scar on his belly, indicating that he was cut because of the pocket knife. The only thing he's been doing was raspily breathing. I'm gonna find out more of this tomorrow. It's getting late and I need to head to bed. There's new mysteries to solve.